welcome to our Japanese garden escape. I'm Teresa, and today I'll be working on the right hand side of the garden, and I'll talk about how we made our gravel pathways, and I'll show you how we clean and maintain these pathways. However, before I do that, I have to show you this one here. Look at this, guys. Isn't this beautiful? This is our flowering cherry plum. It's also known as purple leaf plum because the leaves, you can see them coming out a little bit, they have a dark purple color. And this plum is in full bloom right now. So it was really good that we got a shot of this now. It is absolutely beautiful. It has a light, sweet smell. There are bees around. Not sure if you can see it on the video, but they are very happy about the blossoms. And it looks absolutely stunning. This plum is one of the first shrubs we planted in our garden. At the time when we planted it, it was about as tall as I am. So to about here maybe, probably including the pot. And now it has grown to a really, really big shrub, almost tree, you could say. So I just wanted to show you that before we get started on the pathways, because it's an absolutely beautiful picture. I thought I'd show you a close-up of one of the branches. You can see they have tiny little pink blossoms. Really, really beautiful. Some are still closed here. They'll open, but once you see the leaves are starting to grow, and this is typically a sign that the blossom comes to an end. They only bloom for about a week. So we have a rain forecast for today and tomorrow, so probably the blossoms will be gone. And this is why we really, really wanted to show you guys. Today I'll be cleaning up the pathways on the right hand side of the garden. Those are the pathways that have this granite split. You can see here behind me. These pathways are crossing, you'll see that later. And first maybe a quick word to how we made these pathways. So Adam and I made these pathways ourselves. So we basically took spades and shovels and just took off the top layer of soil and grass. The pathway cutout is about 2 inches deep. Then we put some underlay down, and then we put this gravel you can see here. This granite split comes in here, at least where we live, in a few different colors. We chose a color that is a little bit off-white as opposed to pure white, because we found that pure white looks a bit too hard in the contrast to the green. So this is an off-white color. It does color a bit more over time, so it tends to get this, you can maybe see it in the background, slightly yellowish color. But it's fine, actually. It looks even more natural. The reason we put underlay down is to prevent weeds from growing up and to prevent that gravel actually flushes into the soil. And this works really well. We do get the occasional weed growing in the gravel on the pathway, so I'll probably will be picking some out when I'm cleaning up today. But other than that, this works really well. Also, after strong rains, we get in summer sometimes strong rains here, the gravel really stays in place. We do refill the pathways once in a while. I think in all these years we did it maybe once or twice, but not the entire pathway, just here and there. So we buy a couple of bags of gravel and just fill out a little bit. Okay, then before I get started, I will show you how I do that. Adam likes to leaf blow a lot in our plot, which makes sense. We have a lot of big trees and a lot of leaves falling down in autumn. However, for these pathways, because we grow moss, you can see on the side here, so leaf blowing is maybe not ideal. So what I use is this broom here, and I really love this broom. I'm not quite sure what it's made of. It's some plant, I guess. And this one is really flexible, as you can see here. And so that means when I go over the pathway, I just do a very light stroke really over the pathway. And what this does is that it doesn't really move a lot of gravel. It just moves some debris that is falling down from our big spruces. We do have a big mature black pine over there that throws down a lot of needles. And this is stuff that I'm cleaning up from the pathway. So let's get going. Maybe one more thing actually before I do. We are on a slight slope here, and I always tend to broom downhill. I don't know really why. This just feels right, and so I'm starting with this bit of the pathway. So on this pathway for the edges, as you can see, we did not use any edge guards. That's because we wanted a more natural look. So with edge guards, we do use them somewhere in the garden, but for this pathway we wanted that it goes like in and out, you know, like naturally with the grass, how it grows in. So that means along the edges we need to do more maintenance, because the grass, especially in summer, tends to grow over the pathway. At the moment it is actually alright as it is. It's still spring, early spring. But yeah, this is why we didn't put any of these ground guards in. So let's continue with the brooming. So we're almost done. This is the last bit of the pathway that I need to broom. This bit here you can see has quite a lot of weeds growing on here, and this was my bad because I let them grow last year. These weeds, they have tiny little white blossoms, and we do have a lot of wildlife and bees in the garden, and I thought, hey, they actually look quite sweet, why not let them grow? But what happens is, as far as I can tell, they are seeding themselves out several times a year, and so this is why they are now growing everywhere. So this year I already started further back up there to pick them out before they seed the first time. So here I will do first some brooming to get the area clean, and then I'll go over it again and take the weeds out. Okay guys, we're done brooming the pathway. The very last thing I usually do on our pathways is where we have stone slabs, like this one you can see here. You see there's some gravel that just gets on there by rain or after brooming over it. And so I always clean up our stone slabs. We have this one here because this is where the two pathways are crossing. And in Japanese garden you find it a lot that you have a stone slab of either natural shape like this one here, or a round one, or a rectangular one, or any kind of shape. This is usually something they put when pathways are crossing. So I'm gonna do this, then I will pick up the little piles I made, you saw me making everywhere. I make this pile so that I do not end up with one huge pile that I have to broom along. And then we're pretty much finished with the pathway. I hope you enjoyed the video guys. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye!